Dan Larson here, and I'm at the photo booth with a bunch of Justice League Unlimited figures that I recently acquired. I wasn't collecting this line when it came out. I got the initial core group of Justice Leaguers, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman, Green Lantern, when the regular animated series hit, but I checked out after that. It wasn't until last week, and I realized just how many figures they actually produced for this line. Final count, a lot. If you're a DC fan, this line had to be a dream come true from a character selection standpoint, considering they made everyone. Obviously, it's a 5-point of articulation line: neck, shoulders, hips. Later on, they added knees on some characters, elbows on some characters, on other characters, elbows and knees. There were issues related to the aesthetic design that caused problems, primarily. Of course, I'm talking about the top heaviness and the wonkiness of the legs. They tended to be very thin, and they didn't all have, a wide stance like Crimson Avenger here. Most of them have the very heels together, ankles together stance. It makes them look super heroic, but it does definitely affect their ability to balance. And a lot of times their legs tend to get sculpted, molded. They warp sort of in the package and they bow out, and it's impossible for them to stand, especially for the ladies here. They, between the heeled shoes and the bent legs and stuff, without a stand, it's pretty much impossible to get them to stand up at any point. I got lucky with these guys in the front here and in the back. They're just bigger figures, so they are easier to stay standing up straight. Not very posable, but they are very sturdy. They're solid plastic, and I would think that if this line came out today, it would really appeal to the sort of vinyl Funko Pop reaction mindset of just wanting to have a bunch of different figures, not necessarily for posability purposes. I'm not a DC guy, but I am an action figure guy, and there are a few here that I absolutely love, just strictly from an action figure perspective. Warlord, obviously, he's got a history with toys going back to the old vintage He-Man days. I thought of it as sort of a knockoff line, but it wasn't really a knockoff line. It was just a competing line. And it felt knockoff because it was kind of like He-Man, but it wasn't He-Man. And I didn't know who Warlord was at the time. Atomic Skull, I don't know, DC's Ghost Rider. I'm sure he's got an origin that has nothing to do with Ghost Rider, but, for all intents and purposes, he looks like Ghost Rider. Plus, I like the use of the solid plastic and the translucence, which is something that they did on other figures, like Firestorm here as well. His hair is translucent, but the rest of him is the solid plastic. Crimson Avenger, I don't know anything about Crimson Avenger. I just know that that's a cool-looking character. Very Shadow-esque, the old pulp character. Blue Devil, always like that guy. I need to get my hands on the DCUC version, but I'm really, even he's got a little bit of a mangled mismolding here on his vest that's sort of affecting his symmetry there, but otherwise I really like that figure. Adam Strange, guys with jetpacks, I'm down. Aztec, don't know anything about him, just like the figure. And then, of course, they did lots of classic characters. You can get your old school Super Friends in here if you need to. Super Friends are superpowers. You got Apache Chief, Black Lightning, Samurai. One of the other things I really appreciate about this line now is the use of the different scale. You've got the core body type sort of here, the core female body, core male body, and they sort of just mixed everything up. But they did change scale. Lobo here, much sturdier figure. You've got Rod is just a beast, and even this Parademon has a completely different sort of look to it and feel. And then, of course, even beyond that, you've got regular Giganta, and then you've got giant Giganta. They didn't have a problem with that sort of scale change. And then also going in the other direction, you've got Atom, and then Tiny Atom. So very cool that they were able to move things around like that. Pushing with different materials. Obviously, there's the translucent. You got Phasing, Martian Manhunter, Amazo Droid, and then combination. Thunderbolt here is translucent with a bit of a frost on him, and they changed up the body type just to make him a really unique figure. And then you've got different versions of different characters: Silver Age Flash, we've got regular Flash from the show. Then you've also got classic Barry Allen Flash, lighter red eyes, different belt. Classic Aquaman. When the show came out, he was hook hand, bearded Aquaman. So it's very cool. And then of course, Super Friends style, classic Batman, classic Hawkman. Just a lot of cool figures. In the back here, you got these broad-shouldered, beefy guys, Grodd, Calabac, and just a very, very cool line. Very happy with it. I sort of miss it. I'm disappointed that I don't get the chance to sort of, you know, buy it new as it was coming out as a line back when it came out. But anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, please share this video. Let me know in the comments below if this is a line you collect or if you just couldn't keep up with the sheer volume of figures they cranked out. Later.